Hi everyone, and welcome to this edition of Ask a New York City Tour Guide. Now, we've spent the last 3 episodes talking about our favorite neighborhoods in New York City. The first 2 episodes were dedicated to Manhattan, where most people spend their time, and last episode was dedicated to 3 of the other boroughs, the Bronx, Queens, and Staten Island. This episode, it's going to be all about Brooklyn, the most populated of the boroughs. In the world's view, the most popular of the boroughs, in coolness supposedly. And it is an amazing place to spend time. Now, my favorite neighborhoods depend on what I'm doing here in Brooklyn. When I'm living, it's wherever I find an affordable apartment that's near the subway. And when I'm hanging out, yeah, it depends really on where I'm doing. Usually I stay pretty close to home, but if I'm showing people around, I always go to Dumbo and Brooklyn Heights. Now let's see what the other guides have to say.
Favorite part of the city, not in Manhattan, is Brooklyn Heights. It's a beautiful woodsy area with brownstones and over 600 houses from before the Civil War.
Court Street, Brooklyn Heights. That's my favorite area. I grew up there, went to school there, but there's a nice cafe restaurant that I love. I always sit there all the time. There's a name that I don't remember right now, which drives me crazy. But down in Court Street, you just walk that long block and you have a series of small little restaurants where you can sit outside, read a book, you can listen to some music as well. You have St. Anne's, which has a theater right there, and you have the Brooklyn Historical Society as well. It's one of my favorite areas.
My favorite part of the city that's not in Manhattan would have to be Brooklyn Heights. Just take the A to High Street or any place you can get the Esplanade and the view of the water in downtown, and that neighborhood is so historic and so old New York, and you can just imagine everybody living there in the 19th century while all the hipsters walk around getting their coffee.
What is your favorite part of the city not in Manhattan?
One of my favorite parts in the city not in Manhattan, oh my gosh, there's so many. I love the Dumbo area. I've loved it since before it was gentrified, and I still do today, especially right by the waterfront.
Not in Manhattan. Favorite part of the city not in Manhattan, it would be Dumbo. I've taken a liking to the area. You get the little Pebble Beach area. It's great. You know, you can sit there. It has free Wi-Fi. It's got the carousel, which is only $2 to ride. It's changed a lot. You can walk around the little boardwalk area, and you'll eventually go into Brooklyn Heights. But Dumbo's pretty cute. It has Gleason's Gym is there, where Muhammad Ali was trained to fight. You've got, of course, the famous Instagrammable shot now, Washington Street. Great view of Manhattan Bridge on Washington Street, with a view of the Empire State Building as well. And they've got cute little things around there too. So.
Well, it's super hipster, but my favorite part of the city not in Manhattan right now is probably Williamsburg. I just love the funky vibe that you get down there. You know, terrific bars, restaurants. It's just a really fun scene, and I appreciate it.
What's your favorite part of the city not in Manhattan?
Brooklyn. And I would say all the areas around Prospect Park. Where I lived, it was Park. Park Slope, even around the Barclays Center and stuff. There's just a lot of stuff going on. It's fun. It's happening. Fort Greene, great areas, places to eat, fun stuff to see.
My favorite part of the city, not in Manhattan, I would say, is Bushwick. Bushwick, it's just a... for not growing up in this area and growing up in Brooklyn, and the fact that Park Slope has kind of lost its flavor as neighborhoods can, Bushwick is kind of a budding flavor. Sometimes it's tart, but I enjoy it.
when it comes to my favorite part of the city that is not Manhattan, it has to be my own neighborhood. I live in Clinton Hill, and it's a quiet, sleepy neighborhood with lots of great restaurants, lots of personalities. I live down the block from a homeless shelter, so I have people just walking down the street yelling at each other all the time, or some of them are yelling at themselves. And it's a part of New York City that I feel ownership for. Like, I think a lot of people will look at New York City. If you're not from New York City, you'll look at New York City as this giant, comprehensive, scary thing, but in reality, we're a bunch of tiny little atomized neighborhoods that are all attached to each other, and I feel as proud and happy and ownership of my own neighborhood as you might feel ownership of your own small hometown.
So hopefully that sparked some ideas of places that you should look at outside of Manhattan. And if you do need a tour guide, well, we should be up and running fairly soon. So drop me a line. You can also contact any of the guides that you've seen in any of the episodes, and they can help you out. As always, like, share, please share, and please subscribe. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys in the next episode.